Yo, so my channel is basically a basketball channel now, but the sport I've actually spent the most time on in my life is tennis. I took lessons as a kid, I played in high school, played some IMs during college, and my church actually started this pickleball group a few months ago, so I thought it'd just be fun to make a video about it. We only play once every other week, so I've only played like 5 times now, but I think I've just about gotten used to the game enough to have some opinions on strategies and how to win and stuff. So this video is just going to be 3 tips from me on how to be good at pickleball. Now I need to stress that I haven't watched any actual matches of pickleball, or consumed any sort of pickleball content aside from looking up the rules, so my advice could be totally whack. This is just based on my intuition as a tennis player, in conjunction with my experience playing with my church friends who are all pretty much playing the game for the first time just like me. Anyways, let's get into it. Tip number 0. This is tip number 0 because it's more of a mental mindset tip. But tip number 0 is to play to win. There's this concept called winners and losers game. I think it might have originally been an investment idea or something, but basically the idea is this. A loser's game is a game where you win a game by simply trying not to lose. But a winner's game is one where you need to do good things to win. Now this is a semi-popular concept in tennis because at low levels, people say tennis is a loser's game. If you can just consistently hit the ball over the net, your opponent will eventually mess up and then you win. But as skill level increases, tennis becomes a winner's game because people aren't just going to make mistakes. The winner is then decided by which player can make more good shots, and I think pickleball is the same. But this is tough as a new player because it's so tempting to be so focused on simply keeping the ball in the court and just kind of dinking the ball, kind of like we're doing here. But if you want to improve, you can't expect or even hope for your opponent to make that mistake. You gotta make them make the mistake. So add some pace to your shot, aim for the corners of the court, and especially, segue to tip number 1, approach the net. Volleying is such a powerful attack. You can smash the ball down, you can hit sharper angles. I think it's mostly self-explanatory why volleying is good. But what I think makes approaching the net so powerful in pickleball is that it's really difficult to avoid hitting to a person standing at the net. Look at this point. Pause it here. If you want to try to pass me on this shot, you have to either go for a down the line shot right here or a cross court shot somewhere in this area. And in this clip, I might be cheating over to the right a little too far, but even if you go for this cross court shot, this sideline is right here, and the court is so small that you hit it a little too far, it's going to go out of bounds. And you have to hit it fast enough that I can't react to it. But if you hit it too hard, you're going to hit it past this baseline. And again, because the court is so small, I don't think you can lob it over me very easily either. So especially if you're tired, I just feel like it's so hard to avoid the volleyer. And I think that's why there's a 1 bounce rule. So pretty much once the ball bounces on my side of the court, I approach every time. And I think you should too. And I know especially for new players, it's intimidating to stand so far up. You need to react faster, you need to hit the ball before it bounces, and that's scary. But trust, your reactions are good enough. And volleying technique is actually easier than ground strokes. Tip number 2 is to abuse the kitchen. This tip is my take on how to counter tip number 1. When I play against someone who's figured out that approaching the net is good, the only consistent success I've found in dealing with that is to drop the ball into the kitchen. Then they can't volley it. They have to wait for it to bounce. It's genius. And guess what? This shot is deadly because your opponent can't hit a powerful shot after it. They have to drop it back at you. But if they screw up just a little and hit the ball too high, boom, you smash it and you put it away. So a lot of times you end up playing this little mini game where you're just like dinking the ball at each other until someone can smash it. An extra tip about this drop shot is that I think a lot of people think that if you can get the ball pretty close to the net, then they just think that that's a good drop shot. But an optimization to that I learned in volleyball is that if you aim for the ball to reach its apex somewhere on your side of the net, and then it crosses the net on its way down, then that's a way more powerful shot because it's going to be closer to the net, they're going to have less time to react. Tip number 3 is to set yourself up and to be patient. This is possibly more of my own playstyle rather than a tip for everyone, but I do not think that hitting hard is the key to winning in pickleball. Power does not equal skill. Again, the court is so small that a lot of times I would think I see an opportunity to go for the kill, but then I'd end up hitting the ball out. That's okay to go for sometimes, but I found a lot more success just going for a drop shot or hitting a controlled shot to the corner. So when I play, I would say I'm actually pretty conservative. If I see a slow ball coming towards me, I don't always try to win the point then and there. I'll pick a corner, give the ball a little pace, and what I'm really doing is setting my next shot up. So, those are my 3 tips. If there are any real pickleball players out there watching this video for some reason, I'd be curious to hear your comments. Friends, let me know if you're interested in seeing me make some more pickleball content. I mostly talked about mindset and strategy in this video, but maybe I could try to share my interpretation of technique or match play ideas. I only play once every other week, but I can make it happen if that's what the people want. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. Here's another toddler clip as a reward.
Oh, it's in! That's good. Oh, sorry, ball.
Go. Ooh.
Can you jump?